Well, firstly, I guess making a maiden speech in the Parliament is a pretty extraordinary experience. So that, at a personal level, that was a highlight. But there's been some policy stuff. I think someone that came in here with fairly strong views on foreign ownership of things like farmland and housing, and how New Zealand interests should be put first there. So I've been really proud of the work we've done so far there. There's more to do, but I'm pleased with the way we're tracking there. I've done a farm debt mediation bill that was a private members bill initially, which has now been picked up by the government, and that is to get a layer of mediation, or farmers get some mediation before they go into a sort of receivership process. And that sort of came about. It's been a long-standing New Zealand First position. It's in the coalition agreement, but it came about a little bit with the Mycoplasma bovis thing, and the the financial stress that some farmers are under, and also looking at my new bill that just got picked out of the ballot last week, which is the 20 after 20 bill. So you've got to be resident in New Zealand for 20 years before becoming, after the age of 20, before becoming eligible for New Zealand Super. Look, I think one of the features of the coalition has been how collegially we've worked. I know that sometimes there's some differences that bubble to the top and get exacerbated by the media, but actually behind the scenes we've got a really good working relationship. In my primary industries spokesperson role, I work very closely with Minister Damien O'Connor and his office, and within the select committee that I'm on, the primary industries one obviously, but then also the education and workforce select committee, we also have a really good collegial group there that works really well together. So what I'm working on now are the 20 after 20 bill that we just talked about before. That there's been a lot of interest in that. There's a big meaty bill, potentially up to $4.4 billion of savings for the government over 10 years. So that's a big feature. But in the primary industry space, I've got a real theme about trying to look at areas where we can add value to our primary exports, and there's a few examples of that I'm specifically working on. I'm working with the Manuka honey industry and some of the work that they are doing to lift the value of their products. Likewise, the wool industry and the strong wool industry in particular, that's really in the doldrums. So supporting Minister O'Connor's Wool Summit and trying to drive some outcomes there. And also looking at the possum fur industry and how we can use possums as more of a resource as we look to transition away from 1080 and finding alternatives there. So that's been the three things within that value-added space that I've been working on pretty closely.